Hello there. Hope you enjoyed our previous videos of parallel lines, and in today's video we will try to revise the concepts of parallel lines that we had learnt in the previous videos. Okay, so basic knowledge about the parallel lines that we require is nothing but about their test and theorem that you have already learnt, right? And if you have any doubt regarding those test and theorem, how to prove them and how to utilize them, the link is given in the top left corner. There you can find all other videos related to parallel lines. So for today, let's move on with few particular sums that we need to understand more deeply. The very first sum is on your screen, right? The sum says two lines are given to me, line M and N, and I need to prove them they are parallel, or we need to decide them whether they are parallel or not. And two angles are given. If you observe the diagram, this angle X and Y are nothing but interior angles, right? Correct or not? Yes. And whenever the concept of, if we know that interior angles, if they are made by a transversal, when it intersects parallel lines, then they become supplementary, right? So when you add X and Y, if your answer comes 180 degree, then ultimately lines are parallel, and if it doesn't come 180 degree, then ultimately the lines are not parallel, right? So if you add 108 and 71, you get the answer 179, and that makes what? Line M and N are not parallel. Why? Because the sum of the interior angle is not 180 degree, so we cannot, no test is applicable to prove, or no interior angle test is applicable, right, to prove that lines are parallel, and hence we can say line M and N are not parallel lines. Okay, so I hope I made it very clear to you. The next question is on your screen. Okay, the question says angle A is equal to angle B, and we need to prove the easiest question, because if you observe the diagram, you will come to know that angle A and B are nothing but exterior alternate angle, right? And the way I told you, if you have any doubt, the link is already shared in the left top corner of the video to see how these angles are made and how to identify them. Okay, so let's move on. In the question, it is already given that these angles are congruent to each other, or equal in measures. That is, angle A equals to angle B, that is given, and that we can say, as these are alternate exterior angle, by alternate angle test we can say that the line M is parallel to line N. Boys and girls, just a reminder for you all, whenever you need to prove lines are parallel, we have to write dash dash angle test. It can be interior angle test, it can be complementary angle, corresponding angle test, or it can be alternate angle, interior angle test, right? So whenever I need to prove lines are parallel, I will write dash dash angle test of that as a reason. Okay, so it can be any reason according to your question. Okay, so here we go with the next sum on your screen. The sum says, okay, I need to prove lines are parallel. See, that means I need to write reason about the test. The diagram is there on your screen. Okay, now if you observe the diagram carefully, you will come to know that line L and M, for line L and M, A and B act as corresponding angle, right? Both are below to the transversal, both are on a same side, that is left side of the line, correct? So we can say they are corresponding angles. And if you observe angle X and Y, they can be arranged in the shape of Z, right? Correct? So they can be alternate angles, correct, for line M and N. So let's move on, and once the observation is done, we can go ahead, right? So here's the first beginning. Line K is a transversal, the way we always write, that name mentioning of the transversal is important, and angle A and B are corresponding angles considering line L and M, right? And as they are given equal, in the detail itself we can say line L is parallel to line M by corresponding angle test. Don't forget that part. The way I told you, whenever we prove lines parallel, we have to write reason about the test. Okay, so give it number as 1. Okay, and now if you observe line M and N, you will come to know that angle X and Y are nothing but alternate angles for them, and they are two given equal. So we can also write line M is parallel to line N. Now the reason is alternate angle test. If you observe point number 1 and point number 2, which is given in bluish color, you will come to that line L is parallel to line M and line M is parallel to line N, and that makes line L parallel to line N by using transitivity. Okay, and this is how we have proved our sum, that I needed to prove line L parallel to line N, and I have utilized the property of transitivity to prove it. I hope you have understood. So let's move on. This is question number 4.2.2. The question is there on your screen, and question says I need to find angle ABC. This is the given detail for you all. BA is parallel to D, those are the rays, okay, and angle C equals to 50 degree and angle D equals to 100 degree, and I need to prove or measure the angle ABC. Okay, so for your kind information, the hint part which is mentioned over here, it can or cannot be given in the exam. It depends, but you have to remember that while solving this sum we have constructed something that is a parallel line, the way it is asked in the or informed in the hint, right? So it says draw a line passing through point C, and that should be parallel to line AB or ray AB, right? So here is that line, and name it as PQ, that passes through C and parallel to AB, right? Now once the structure is clear to you, we can go ahead. If you observe the diagram properly, you will come to know that we can take angle N the way it is shown, right? And that angle N is nothing but the interior angle for 100 degree, right? That is angle D. And the way I told you, we have to mention that if you do any changes in the diagram, you have to mention it in the construction part. Don't forget that part, okay? So here we go. Ray BA parallel to ray DE, it is given to us. Line PQ is drawn parallel to ray BA, that is construction done by us, right? And we have considered angle N as shown in the diagram, right? So due to that angle N, you can say that 100 degree when added to angle N, the answer will be 180 degree, right? And these all diagrams, as ray BA and DE were parallel to each other, given parallel, so we can say all these three, PQ, AB and DE, are parallel to each other, and that makes our angle N that we have considered an angle D, that is given to me interior angles, right? And whenever we add them, the sum will be 180 degree. And how do we get this? Because we know the theorem called interior angle theorem. So keep it in mind, when I use the property of interior angle, I must write interior angle theorem, right? And the condition for it, what? The lines on which we are going to utilize those interior angles must be parallel to each other, okay? So on transversal CD, these two angles are formed, angle D, that is 100 degree, and angle N that we have considered, okay? And that is why we can write interior angle theorem. And we know as the sum is 180 degree, and when I subtract 100 from 180 degree, my answer will be 80 degree, and so angle N is nothing but 80. Now if you observe the angle BCQ, my dears, you will come to know that there are two parts for angle BCQ whole. The one part is angle BCD, that is 50 degree, and another part is only angle N that we have considered, and its answer is 80 degree. So to get the total value of angle BCQ, I have to add these two angles, and the answer will be 130, and this is called angle addition property. The bigger angle is formed by adding two smaller angles, but that bigger angle is nothing but what you can say ki those two small angles must be part of that bigger angle, okay? They must share one common arm, only then we can say this property can be utilized. So common arm that is shared over here is arm CD, right? And due to which we can use this property that results in angle BCQ equals to 130 degree. Okay, so we have almost completed the sum, because now if you observe the diagram, this angle BCQ is nothing but alternate angle considering the angle ABC, right? Because on transversal BC, you can say angle ABC and angle BCQ are nothing but alternate angle by alternate angle theorem, right? And that is why their values will be equal, their measurement will be equal, and that makes, if BCQ is 130 degree, then ultimately angle ABC is also 130 degree, and this is how we have found what we were supposed to find it, okay? So let's move on with the next sum. is question number 5, 2.2. The question is on your screen, right? And question says ray AE, okay, is parallel to ray BD, and bisectors of angle EAB and ABD are given to me, and I need to prove those bisectors are parallel. Okay, good. So to prove those bisectors parallel, can you see the shape Z between those bisectors, right? That means angle FAB and angle ABC. Okay, that means X and Y. If you are able to prove that X equal to Y, that means angle FAB will be equal to angle ABC, and hence you can say that by alternate angle test those two rays are parallel to each other. So as we know our action plan, our motto, what is to be done, okay, so we can move ahead. So what we can do presently over here, so AF and BC are nothing but the bisectors, so mention them and consider angle X and Y as shown in the diagram. That makes, due to those angle X, angle EAB will be 2X and angle ABD will be 2Y. Okay, and ray AE is parallel to ray BD, that is given to me, right? And that makes transversal AB. AB will be the transversal for the angles. Okay, so if you observe diagram clearly or more closely, we will come to know that angle EAB, that is 2X, and is nothing but alternate angle with angle ABD, that is 2Y. So both the values will be equal. So the way you are looking at the screen, 2X will be equal to 2Y, and when you divide both the term, that is 2X and 2Y, by 2, you get X equal to Y, and that was a motto, right? The way I told you, if you are able to prove somehow that X equal to Y, then ultimately you are proving angle FAB congruent to or equal to angle ABC, and once it is proved, we can say that considering transversal AB, ray AF and ray BC are nothing but parallel to each other by alternate angle test, because those two angles, that is X and Y, are nothing but the alternate angles, and that makes line AF or ray AF is parallel to ray BC. Okay, the next question on the screen is over here, side of angle PQR are parallel to side of angle XYZ, and I need to prove, okay, PQR is congruent to XYZ. So the moment they say the sides of PQR are parallel to sides of XYZ, that means corresponding sides. So PQ will be parallel to XY and YZ will be parallel to QR, and it is given to me, and I need to prove whole angle is congruent to each other. So in this question, the construction I need to do, because no transversal is intersecting these two parallel lines, right? So to draw that transversal, either you can extend arm XY from towards the Y direction, or ray YZ towards Y, intersecting PQ. So it's your wish, you can go ahead with any construction that you like, but presently over in the diagram in the video, I have extended YZ towards side PQ so that it will intersect each other. Okay, and to get the better idea of the question, consider angle A and angle B as shown in figure, so that each time there will be no need to write angle PQR and angle XYZ. Okay, so once you prove A equal to B, that means you are proving angle PQR equals to XYZ, and the way I told you, I have extended YZ towards the PQ that is intersecting PQ at some point and making the angle C over there. Okay, keep it in mind. So present in the diagram, I have considered three new angles. Okay, C is angle made due to the extended part of YZ, correct, and A and B are the angles considered by us, and my target is to prove angle PQR congruent to angle XYZ, that is angle A equals to angle B. Okay, so after mentioning the details that we have taken and that we have observed, right, we can say that angle C and angle B, if you observe the diagram, both are above the transversal and both are on the right side of the transversal. So these kind of properties make these two angles are corresponding angles. Okay, so by corresponding angle theorem, and those arms are parallel, which arms? PQ and XY are parallel, so we can say angle C congruent to angle B, right, by corresponding angle theorem. And if you observe now, considering transversal PQ itself, okay, previously we considered transversal YZ, and now we are considering the transversal PQ, and on that PQ we can say C and A, if you observe, both are on the right side, okay, and both are above the parallel lines, right? Yes, and that makes them corresponding angle, and by corresponding angle theorem we can say angle C equal to angle B, angle C equal to angle A. Now if you observe point number 1 and point number 2, you will come to that angle C is the common factor between them, and that common factor is nothing but the bridge between them that will prove angle B equals to angle A by transitivity. Don't forget that angle C is the common factor, so by transitivity I can say angle A is congruent to angle B, and my target is achieved, and that makes angle PQR congruent to angle XYZ, and that's what I needed, right? So I hope I made it very clear to you all. The next question is on your screen. It is one of the important question of your chapter. Okay, so what does the question says? AB parallel to line CF, okay, and line BC is parallel to line ED. Nice. I hope you are observing the diagram also, and I need to prove angle ABC equal to angle FDE. Okay, the way I told you, whenever 3 letter names are given, okay, you consider a single letter name for those angles so that your understanding will be much better to solve the sum. Okay, so what we can do over here presently, we will consider first of all 2 angles the way it is shown in the diagram, X and Y. So my target is nothing but to prove angle X equal to angle Y. That means we are proving angle ABC congruent to angle FDE. Okay. So if you observe the diagram very clearly, now I need to check or see one more angle that will help me to construct the bridge between these 2 angles. The way I told you in the previous sum, we require certain common factors so that the transitivity can be utilized. Okay, the bridge we require, so we will choose that bridge in such a way that that bridge will form a connection between X and Y both. So what do you think to take the angle Z the way it is shown in the diagram, due to which if you consider transversal BC, keep it in mind, so BC, X and Z are the corresponding angle, and if you consider transversal PF, Z and Y are nothing but the exterior alternate angles, right? And that makes common relation between them. And let's go on. Here we are with the further solution. So the way I told you, mention the given details and mention the part which we have considered the way it is shown in the answer. After that, on transversal BC, the way I told you, angle X is equal to angle Z because they are corresponding angles. Both are above the transversal, both are on the right side of the line, right? And on transversal PF, the way I informed you, we can say Y and Z are alternate angles. Which alternate? Exterior alternate angles, keep it in mind. Okay, and which theorem we have to utilize? Alternate angle theorem, correct? Now if you observe 1 and 2, you can say Z is the common bridge between them, and that is why angle X equal to angle Y, and if angle X equal to Y, that means I have proved angle ABC equals to angle FD, and that was my target, right? So let's go on. And this is one of the toughest question, not toughest, we can say it is the lengthiest question of your full chapter. I need to prove that quadrilateral QXRY as a rectangle, right? The way I told you, this solution, the first part of the solution will be proving the opposite side parallel. Okay, by proving opposite side parallel, we'll move to the second part, that is nothing but quadrilateral QXRY will be termed as parallelogram, and third part is nothing but once the parallelogram is proved, I need to prove one of the angle of that quadrilateral is 90 degree, and only then that parallelogram with 90 degree can be termed as rectangle. So here we go, as we have cleared our action plan. So my target is to prove now opposite sides are parallel. Okay, so very first, as they are angle bisectors, right, the way it is mentioned in the question, we can consider angles GG, HH, E, FF the way it is shown in the diagram, because angle bisector divides the angle into 2 equal parts, right? 2 equal and half parts. So those parts are with the mentioned with the same letter, so it will be easier for us. So if here onwards, whenever angle bisector is given, you too have to divide those parts with the same letter in the way it is shown in the diagram over here. Okay, The way I told you, given details must be written. So write which is the transversal in the diagram and which are the angle bisectors, and after that the important part is to mention which two bigger angles are formed, like by writing 2 times G. Okay, so angle AQR, the biggest one, will be the 2G, and similarly I have mentioned all other angles that will be 2H, 2E and 2F in the diagram. Okay, move on. If you observe now on transversal PS, AQR, that is 2G, and QRD, that is 2E, are nothing but forming a Z shape, and Z shape nothing but the alternate angles, and that makes 2G equals to 2E, right or not? And when you divide this both the sides by 2, you get G equals to E. And when you say G equals to E, that means, keep it in mind, G equals to E, that means angle XQR is congruent to angle QRY, and due to which we can say QX is parallel to RY considering transversal QR. Okay, by alternate angle test. So one side is proved parallel, correct? QX parallel to RY. The important part is done. Similarly, when you move towards the inverted or the mirror image of that Z, you will come to that BQR, that is 2F, okay, is equal to angle QRC, that is 2H. Why sir is writing like this? Because main two line AB and CD are given parallel to me, so I can say these are the alternate angles, and by alternate angle test, okay, we can say 2F equal to 2H. Okay, then when you divide both the side by 2, we get an answer F equal to H, and that makes QY is also parallel to RX. Both angles I'm not taking letter naming because that will confuse a lot, right? So single letter naming helps a lot to understand the sum in better manner. Okay, so once opposite sides are proved parallel, okay, I can say due to that opposite side, by definition of the parallelogram, quadrilateral QXRY is nothing but the parallelogram, right? Whenever you prove opposite side parallel, that makes that quadrilateral parallelogram, correct? So my first target is done. Now I'll move toward the next target to prove at least one angle is 90 degree. Okay, so for that part I will consider the triangle XQR or triangle QRY, any one of them, and I'll try to prove angle X or angle Y equals to 90 degree. Okay, so let's move on. So what does the question say? What does the procedure says now? I know already angle AQR is 2G and angle QRC is nothing but 2H, right? These two are interior angles, right? And whenever you add interior angles, the total is always 180 degree, provided that the transversal is intersecting parallel lines. So over here, as the parallel lines are given to me, I can say my interior angle theorem, keep it in mind, theorem, we can say 2G plus 2H equals to 180, and when I divide all these numbers by 2, I get G plus H equals to 90 degree. Keep it in mind. So I got the value G plus H equals to 90 degree. And now in triangle XQR, you can consider triangle XQR also, or according to details now it is XQR. You can take triangle QRY also. It depends upon you. So if you observe triangle XQR, we can say angle X plus angle G, that is forming angle Q, the part of Q, okay, and angle H, that is nothing but the angle R for the triangle QXR. Okay, when you add them, the total will be 180. Why this happens? Because we know the property that if you add all three angles in a triangle, the total must come 180 degree, right? So among these three, G plus H is nothing but 90 degree. So when you substitute the value, okay, and the moment you subtract it, you will get the value angle X equals to 90 degree, and bang on target. Okay, the way we needed, angle X we got as 90 degree, and hence we can say QXRY is a parallelogram with one angle 90 degree. Okay, and if this happens that in a parallelogram one angle is right angle, we can say that quadrilateral or that parallelogram is nothing but the rectangle, and hence quadrilateral QXRY is a rectangle, and that's what we needed, right? And in this way we have solved all the important questions from practice set and the problem set. Even then, if you have any problem, the link of all the videos of the parallel of this chapter is given, or the videos are shown in the left of corner in the I button. Do not forget to click it if you want to see any other video. Till then, bye bye.